Well, brothers and sisters, today is my 23rd video. The 23rd video of my series of videos in support of my disability ministry and inspirational preaching. The topic for this video is false information. False information could also mean disinformation. And disinformation as well could also mean fake news. The biblical references for this topic is Exodus 20:16, which says, "You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor." Psalm 34:13, "Keep your tongues from evil and your lips from telling lies." Proverbs 12:22, which says, "Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight." This topic is divided into the following sections. 1. Where does fake news come from? Secondly, what are the effects of fake news? And thirdly, how do we spot fake news? What is false information? As we know, false information is the information which deliberately and often covertly and secretly spread by others in order to influence public opinion, or they make the truth seem doubtful. They are vague and deceitful, and it is deliberately intended to deceive or manipulate public thinking or the way people think. Fake news are deliberately untruth stories, and they contain some truth, but they are completely inaccurate truths. Fake news can have a negative impact on our societies, and there is always the need to refrain from negative tendencies because they are bad and destructive. They have led to character assassinations, they have led to suicides, they have led to loss of hopes, and they led also to giving up in life, and they have destroyed our Christian fabric and our social progress. False information is not what we need as Christians. But in our society everywhere, there is false information. When we get information, we do not synthesize to know whether it is true or not. People tell information stories about people. People give us information, but how can we spread the information when we do not know whether they are true or not true? Remember, rumor mongering is a crime. As Christians, it is necessary to refrain from fake news. Fake news are deliberately invented stories designed to make people believe something false. This fake news is biased, and it aims to convince readers or other people of a certain viewpoint. People do not critically weigh stories, but rather they instantly believe and continue to spread the information. Brother, are you sure whether the information you are spreading is true or not true? Where does fake news or false information come from? False information spreads on a massive scale and has either brought about the downfall and deaths of many people, alongside character assassination. Fake news come from gossips from so-called friends, co-workers, members of churches, and also from print publications, which all fail to check the facts. They therefore are also guilty of carelessly and unconsciously spreading misinformation. Nowadays, social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn allow almost everyone or anyone to publish their thoughts or share stories to the world. The trouble is, most people don't check the source of the story they hear or the stories they view online before they share it. And this can lead to fake news being spread about and spread quickly. It has always been hard to identify the source and accuracy of such news and stories. This has led to a flood of fake news everywhere. What are the effects of fake news? Firstly, fake news can affect behavior, and it encourages people to invent excuses, to dismiss others' ideas, to exaggerate the truth, and to spread rumor. This can create division amongst people in societies or workplaces where people are unsure of who to trust. There is loss of trust, which leads to mistrust of information in our working places. This can dismiss people's curiosity, enthusiasm, ambition that they need to be successful. Misinformation and fake news are inaccurate, and hence they lead to mistrust amongst people. They lead to reputational damage or harm our societies and organizations. Fake news might make people start to believe that they no longer need facts to back up their argument. Others start to mistrust information altogether. Workers in an organizational setup will not trust industry news, reports, or disengage entirely. And this will slow their professional growth and development, which will eventually damage organizational learning culture. How do we spot fake news? Here we have to separate real from fake news. This is done by following the following steps. When we get any news, we have to develop a critical mindset. You don't easily believe something which is said to you or which is told you. You have to check the source and see whether it is true or not. You have to see who else is reporting the story. You examine the evidence. Is there enough evidence to support what you are being told? You have to look for fake images, and you have to check that it sounds right. In this sense, you have to be commonsensical. So I will simplify them. Firstly, you develop a critical mindset. As you are aware, fake news is often believable and have led to character assassination, suicides, loss of hope, and often giving up in life. So when you first hear a story or information, keep your emotional responses to such stories in check. Keep them in check. And always approach them or approach what you see and hear rationally and critically. Ask yourself, why has this story been said or written? Or is it to persuade me or of a certain viewpoint? Secondly, you check the source of the story. Do some digging in. Dig into the story and find out a bit more about the source of this story. Somebody might publish some information or tell you some information. Brother, the first thing you have to do is you check the story. Is it the person's personal story? Or is it from a professional background? How truthful can this be? Most of the time, when we hear stories from friends, we believe it. Have you checked the truth before you spread the information? If you hear a story, you just have to, ask yourself, is it from an expert or from, a tangible source? Thirdly, see who else is reporting the story. Check whether the story has been checked and verified before it has been picked up. Or is it from a well-known publisher or a well-known source? If the information you have isn't from a well-known source like stories from organizations such as Reuters, CNN or BBC, or to Christians from a Christian source, which is a biblical source, then you have to then ask yourself, this can be fake if it is not from a tangible source. Examine the evidence, because a credible news will include plenty of facts, such as codes, surveys, data, official statistics. If these are missing, or the source is an unknown expert or from an unknown expert or a friend, then please question it. Look for fake images. Whenever you get a story, please assess it. Look for fake images, because these days, modern editing software has made it easy for people to create fake images, and they look professional and real. Sometimes some images are altered or used in the wrong context. Sixthly, check whether it sounds right. Here, use your common sense and bear in mind that fake news or false information is designed to feed your biases and fears. And therefore, just remember that a story might sound right and true, but it doesn't mean that it is true. Brothers and sisters, remember that the Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy. Therefore, don't spread harmful rumors or help a criminal by giving false evidence. False information has brought about a lot of downfalls in people's lives. It is not good to spread information which is not true. As a Christian, I hope you will live to know how tangible an information is before you spread the message. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters. God richly bless you.